In a quiet office nestled within a corporate high-rise, Kevin, a mid-level employee, found himself at odds with his new manager, Linda. Linda had joined the company a month prior and was determined to make her mark by enforcing every single rule to the letter. She believed that efficiency came from strict adherence to policies, even the ones no one had cared about for years. Kevin was the go-to person in his department. Always willing to help, he often stayed late to finish projects, covered for co-workers, and even worked through his breaks to ensure deadlines were met. He didn't mind. He took pride in his work. But Linda saw things differently. One Friday morning, Linda called Kevin into her office. "Kevin, I've noticed you've been skipping your breaks. That's against company policy. From now on, you're required to take your allotted 15-minute breaks twice a day." "No exceptions," she said with a smug smile. Kevin tried to explain. "I usually just work through them because we're so busy. It helps us meet deadlines, and I don't mind." "That's irrelevant," Linda interrupted. "Rules are rules. Everyone needs to follow them." Kevin's colleagues raised their eyebrows when he returned to his desk. "She's really cracking down, huh?" one co-worker whispered. Kevin shrugged. "Guess so." But in his mind, an idea began to form. That afternoon, at precisely 10 a.m., Kevin stood up from his desk. "Break time!" he announced cheerfully. He grabbed his coffee mug and sauntered to the break room, where he spent exactly 15 minutes scrolling through his phone. When he returned, Linda gave him a satisfied nod. At 3 p.m., he did it again. "Break time!" he called out, making his way to the lounge. Again, he stayed for exactly 15 minutes. This continued into the following week. Kevin religiously took his breaks, and he made sure everyone knew it. But that wasn't all he did. If he was in the middle of a task when break time rolled around, he'd stop immediately, even if it meant leaving an email half-written or pausing during a client call. "Sorry, I'll have to get back to you. It's my mandated break time," he'd say politely, leaving clients and co-workers bewildered. Projects that Kevin once completed ahead of schedule now barely met deadlines. Co-workers, who relied on his efficiency, started falling behind too. When Linda asked for updates, Kevin would respond with a calm smile. "I'm making sure to follow company policy, just as you instructed." By the end of the month, Linda's crackdown had created a noticeable drop in productivity. Upper management began to ask questions. One day, the department head, Mr. Thompson, called a meeting with Linda and Kevin. "Linda, we've noticed some issues in your team's output," Mr. Thompson said. "What's going on?" Linda fumbled for an explanation. "Well, I've been ensuring that everyone follows policy. For example, I made sure Kevin here takes his breaks properly. That's important for employee well-being, right?" Kevin suppressed a grin as Mr. Thompson turned to him. "Kevin, is this true?" "Absolutely," Kevin replied. "I've been taking my breaks at the exact times mandated. I stop whatever I'm doing, as per policy. It's been an adjustment, but I want to respect the rules." Mr. Thompson raised an eyebrow. "And how's that working out?" "Well," Kevin said with a calculated pause, "it's certainly impacted how quickly I can finish tasks. But rules are rules, right?" Realizing she had cornered herself, Linda stammered, I was just trying to ensure compliance. I didn't think—" Mr. Thompson cut her off. "Linda, we appreciate your attention to policy, but there's a balance between rules and results. From now on, let's allow some flexibility where it makes sense. Kevin, thank you for your hard work. Feel free to manage your breaks as you see fit." As they left the meeting, Kevin couldn't resist a small, victorious smile. Linda avoided his gaze, clearly embarrassed. From that day forward, Linda eased up on her micromanagement, and Kevin returned to his efficient ways. Breaks included, but only when it suited him.